to tackle the 9 of personal selling. Number 1, introduction to personal selling. Number 2, importance of personal selling. Number 3, characteristic of personal selling. Number 4, personal selling relationship. Number 5, limitation of personal selling. Number 6, types of personal selling. Number 7, order taking. Number 8, order gating. Number 9, sales support and cross-functional team is the face-to-face or personal communication of information to persuade a customer to buy a product or service. It is a promotion tools that involves a direct one-on-one interaction between salespersons and potential buyer to build relationship, create awareness, educate customers, and ultimately make a sale. This method is a particularly effective for high-value items, new product, or those that require demonstrations and after-sales service. Type of personal selling process. The personal selling process is a structured approach that typically includes this step. Number 1, prospecting, identifying potential customer. Number 2, pre-approach, planning and preparing for the sale goal. Number 3, approach, the initial interaction with the prospect. Number 4, presentation, presenting the product and its benefits. Number 5, handling objections, addressing any concern and customer may have. Number 6, closing the sales, final, finalizing finalizing the purchase. Number 7, follow up, maintaining the relationship with the customer after the sale. Number 2, importance of personal selling. Example of the importance of personal selling include a car salesperson demonstrating features to a buyer, a real estate agent giving a property tour, and a cosmetic sales associate offering personalized advice and samples. These examples are important because personal selling allows for in-depth product demonstrations, building trust, and addressing a customer's specific needs through direct, personalized communications. Number 3, the characteristic of personal selling. Personal selling is important because it is flexible and help build relationship. Its main advantage is flexibility. It allows salespeople to adapt their message to fit each customer needs and situations. Unique mass advertising, personal selling focus only on qualified and profitable prospects, reducing mass wasted effort. Salespeople can adjust their presentations, handle objections, and read customers' reactions to improve communications because personal selling involves two-way communication. It always for direct feedback, helping the salesperson learn more about customer needs and preferences. Example. Number 1, discovering unmet customer problem. Number 2, getting suggestions on how to improve product. Number 3, gaining new leads through customer referrals. Number 4, learning about competitors' sales tar- tactics. In overall, personal sellings flexibility and personal interaction make it a powerful and effective marketing tool. Number 4, personal selling builds relationship. Personal selling helps build and maintain a strong relationship between the marketer and the buyer even after the sale is made. Long-term success depends on the salesperson's ability to create trust and loyalty with customer, especially in business to business marketing where relationship after often grow stronger after the sale. This process is called relationship management or relationship selling, which involves managing the customer account and ensuring they receive proper service and support. The goal is to help customer success the expense through continuous cooperations. The salesperson plays a key role by understanding and solving and customer's problem. When the salesperson meets customer needs effectively, the relationship deepens, leading to repeat business and long-term success. Example, example, isang real estate agents na bumubuo ng pangmatagalang relasyon sa isang client sa pamamagitan ng tuloy-tuloy na pagpapakita ng mga property, pagpapaliwanag ng proseso at pag-aangkop ng mga rekomendasyon sa pangangailangan ng buyer. Lumakas ang relasyon dahil sa tiwala at paulit-ulit na transaksyon. Number 5, the types of personal selling. The role and importance of personal sellings differ among organizations. Some companies rely heavily on their sales force to generate sales, while others mainly depend on advertising and use salespeople for support. There are also different types of salespeople, from store cl- clerks who do simple selling to technical experts like engineers who handle complex sales. Business of the diversity marketing manager must must match the right selling skills and job types to the company sales goals. Assigned a high skilled salesperson to simple tax word was resources. The text definition: three main types of selling tax. Number one, order taking. Number two, order getting. Number three, salesperson. For example, of limitation personal selling. Kasama sa limitation ang mataas na gastos sa bawat customer, mas maliit na abot kumpara sa mass advertising at matagal na oras upang makabuo ng personal na relasyon. Dagdag rin dito ang pangangailangan ng highlight salespeople, panganib ng hindi pare-parehong mensahe at posibleng administratibong hamon. Speaking involves routine sales support where the salespersons mainly receive and process customer order. Order takers handle tasks like writing order, checking invoices, and ensuring timely delivery. Their main goal is to keep customers satisfied and maintain long-term relationships. They may, they may use suggestive selling, encouraging customers to buy additional items, like asking, "Would you like fries with that?" Order takers are usually divided into inside out parts salespeople or telemarketers, and outside company representative selling familiar product like Maggi noodles sales group. Overall, order taking focus on serving exciting customers rather than finding new ones. Their job require less precious and creative but plays an important role in maintain smooth transactions and customer satisfaction. For example, for example, isang waiter sa restaurant na nagtatanong kung ano ang order ng customer. Inuulit-ulit ito para kumpirmahin at isinusulat. Oh, number two, isang row, number two naman example, may isang room service attendant nagtatanong sa guest kung anong pagkain ang gusto nila at kinukumpirma ang items at oras ng delivery bago isubmit ang order. Yun ang example ng order taking. Number 8, order gating. Order gating, also called creative selling, involves an actively seeking out customers, analyzing their problems, and offering products or solutions that meet their needs. Unlike order taking, with focus on keeping exciting sales, older gators create new sales that may not happen without their effort. Creative selling requires strong communication skills to explain product benefit and persuade customers to buy. This process often takes a lot of time and effort, especially for complex or expensive products. There are two main types of order gating. Number one, pioneers focus on finding new customer or selling new product. Number two, account managers focus on maintaining relationship with exciting customers and gaining repeat or additional sales. Then, order gators may work in persons in the field or through telemarketing depending on the size and type of customer account. Their main goal is to develop new business for the firm through creatively and personalized selling strategy. In short, older gators find and convince new customer to buy. They use creative problem-solving approach. Their work builds new business and keep customer relationship strong. Example of example of order gating. Real estate agents na nagko-convince ng bagong buyer. Insurance agent na nag-upsell ng policy sa exciting client. Telemarketer na tumatawag sa mga potential leads. Kasi ang order gating ay salesperson na aktibong naghahanap ng bagong customer at dagdag sa sales mula sa kasalukuyan customer, hindi tulad ng order taker na tumatanggap lang ng order. Number 9, sales support in cross-functional teams. In example, si sales support and cross-functional teams ay nagtatrabaho para mapa-improve ang efficiency at effectiveness ng sales department kasama sa gawain, pag-manage ng CRM system, pag-generate ng sales supports at dashboard, pagbibigay ng training at sales tools, pag-manage ng sales enablement tools at software. Yung cross-functional teams naman, product launch time. Binubuo ng iba't ibang department para sa matagumpay na pag-launch ng bagong produkto. Product development. Gumagawa ng produkto based sa market research at feedback. Marketing, gumagawa ng advertising at messaging. Sales, nagbebenta ng bagong produkto gamit ang marketing support. Customer support, naghahanda sumagot sa tanong ng mga concerns ng customer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wal barakatuhu. My name is Natasha J. Haji, and good morning to each and everyone, especially to you, Sir Nico Chua. So today, I'm going to report my topic. It's about creative selling process and their steps. So, what is creative selling process and their steps? So, the creative selling process is a sales approach that emphasizes understanding customers' needs and presenting tailored solution. Here are the typical steps. First steps is prospecting. Prospecting, identify potential customers who might benefit from your product or service. So, ang ibig sabihin po ng prospecting is that if you are a business owner, kailangan hanapin mo ang mga tao na potential na nangangailangan ng product mo o serbisyo ng product mo. Yun po yung sa prospecting. The second is pre-approach. Pre-approach, research the prospect, understand their needs, and prepare a customized approach. Sa pre-approach naman, kailangan mo munang saliksikin yung pangangailangan ng bawat isa. Pagkatapos mong maunawaan ang kanilang mga pangangailangan, dapat maghanda ka ng pasadyang paraan. Katulad ng mga, sasabihin mo, punta ako dito kasi may binibenta akong product at sa tingin ko, kailangan nyo ito. At kapag na-consider ng mga buyers mo na kailangan nila talaga ang product mo, doon bibili na sila sa'yo at magkakaroon na kayo ng connection. So, dito naman sa 3 is approach. Approach is make contact, build rapport, and establish a connection with the prospect. Sa approach naman, as a business owner, kailangan talaga na gumawa sila ng mga ugnayan nila, lalong-lalo na sa customers nila, at mas lalong patatagin ang kanilang mga ugnayan dahil nararapat ito para humaba ang kanilang business, lalong-lalo na sa mga tao or sa mga more na mga place na maraming bumibili sa kanila. Kailangan nilang patatagin ang ugnayan nila sa mga customers nila o sa bawat tao na bumibili ng product nila. Presentation. Sa presentation is showcase your product or service, highlighting how it addresses the customer's specific needs. So, sa presentation, kailangan maipakita mo sa mga tao ang product mo or serbisyo mo. Kasi, kapag hindi mo pinakita sa kanila o pinaalam sa kanila, syempre, hindi sila bibili niyan kasi hindi nila alam kung ano yung benefits ba or kailangan nila ba to sa sarili nila o sa bahay nila, ganyan. Pagkatapos, i-highlight mo yung mga posibleng tumutugon sa pangangailangan ng bawat isa sa lugar na binebentahan mo. Yun yung sa presentation. So, sa handling objection is address concerns, provide solutions, and overcome obstacles to the sale. So, sa handling objection is ito yung parang 'di ba may mga tao na parang minsan hindi sila naniniwala na, for example na lang sa sa beauty product, o di ba, whitening, di ba, ganun. Minsan hindi sila naniniwala na nakakaputi ba yan, ganun. Parang nagdadalawang isip pa sila na bumili. Pero naman kung talagang trinahin mo naman yung product mo, tinest mo naman bago mo siya i-launch, ganun, dapat gumawa ka ng solusyon para mawala yung alanganin ng tao, di ba? Ganon. So dapat masolusyonan mo yun, yung problema na yun, kasi isa na yun sa problema, yung tao na nagdadalawang isip sila, ganon, hindi sila niniwala kung nakakaputi ba talaga yun. So yun, dapat bigyan mo ng solusyon. Dapat may proofs ka, ganon, may proofs ka na talagang nakakaputi yun, para bumili sila sa produkto mo at hindi sila like magdadalawang isip ganyan, para humaba rin yung connection niya sa isa't isa. Yun yung sa sa handling objection, yun yung sa kasi naman dapat talaga na kapag isa kang business woman or businessman, dapat alam mo na wala dapat makahadlang sa negosyo mo para tuloy-tuloy ito. Oo, minsan talaga medyo nalulugi ganyan, or parang may mga reklamo ganon, pero kailangan gumawa ka pa rin ng solusyon para hindi ka bumagsak agad-agad, ganon, or bumagsak ng tuluyan. Yun yung sa handling objection. Parang kapag may problema, dapat solusyonan mo, dapat hindi ka magpa-apekto sa mga ganon. So sa closing naman, finalize the sales, ensuring customers satisfaction and agreement. So sa closing is di ba halata naman closing, so tapusin mo yung pagbebenta mo, ganyan. Tapos bago ka umalis, dapat siguraduhin mong na yung customers mo is satisfied sa product na ibinebenta mo sa kanya at maligaya siya dito. Hindi yung parang aalis ka na lang ganyan nang hindi naman sinasabi ng na okay na sa kanya, or pinapabili mo siya ng kusa kahit ayaw niya. Dapat agree talaga yung customers mo, yung binebentahan mo na bibilihin niya, at satisfied siya sa product mo or maligaya siya sa product mo kasi maganda, ganon. Hindi yung parang pino-force mo yung customers mo, ganon. Kaya nga agreement, 'di ba? Yun yung sa sa closing. Dapat hindi mo i-force yung isang customers mo na bumili, o yung isang tao na bumili ng isang product kahit ayaw niya naman, 'di ba? Ganon yung sa sa closing. The last steps of creative selling process is follow up. 7 lang to siya yung sa step niya. The last steps is follow up. So follow up, check in with the customers, ensure delivery, and explore opportunities for repeat business or referrals. So sa follow up is, for example na lang, kapag may mga delivery ganon, 'di ba, dapat muna alamin natin kung saan talaga yung location ng customers natin. Tapos naman sa mga delivery naman, yung mga rider, dapat alamin din ng ng owner na dun talaga yung exact location na pinuntahan ng rider. Yun yung sa follow up. Pagkatapos siguraduhin po na yung customers is satisfied at walang pagsisisi sa pag-order, para sa tuloy-tuloy na negosyo, at para sa tuloy-tuloy na sa transaction, sa patuloy na pagbibili niya sa'yo ng mga product mo. Ganin yung sa follow up. Dapat alam mo at chine-check mo lahat ng mga every details ng mga product mo, ng mga customers mo, ganyan. Yun yung sa follow up. So my second topic is publicity. Publicity refers to the act of promoting or publicizing a product, service, idea, or organization through various media channels such as press release, media coverage, news articles, interviews, like that, social media, event, public relation, or PR. Sa press release is very common naman yan, 'di ba, sa atin yung press release. Dito na yung mga product na nina-launch nila, tapos ina-endorse nila sa mga iba't ibang artista, ganon. Yung mga product katulad ng mga mga beauty product, or like mga healthy na mga juice na iniinom ng mga ng mga tao. Tapos ini-endorse nila to sa mga artista, ganon. Tapos yung mga artista naman is inaano nila, yung pinopromote nila yung product na yun para naman may sila, may mapagkitaan, ganon. Tapos yung nilalabas nila yung mga bagong product sa sa press release. Kaya yun yung tawag sa kanya. Kapag like parang nagla-launch ka ng mga new product, yun sa press release. So sa video coverage is, 'di ba, may mga nakikita tayo ng mga endorsers katulad ng mga artista na naman ulit, ganun. 'Di ba? Gumagawa yung mga owner ng product ng isang program katulad ng mga interview, ganyan. Tapos yung mga endorsers katulad na lang ni Marian Rivera, may may gamot na ini-endorse si Marian Rivera. Tapos sinabi niya doon sa sa program na yun, sa interview. In-interview kasi siya ng mga tao doon kung anong benefits ng gamot. Sabi niya doon is yung gamot na na binebenta nila is safe. Oo, sabi niya doon kasi sa maganda ka nga, 'di ba? Kaso hindi ka safe sa gamot na iniinom mo. So yung gamot na binebenta nila is safe kahit uminom ka ng kahit ilang bottle sa makaubos ka ng ilang bottle. Safe ka, walang cause, hindi ka magkakaroon ng sakit sa kidney, 'di ba? May mga gamot na ganun. Yun yung sa media coverage, yung interview tungkol sa mga product na binebenta mo, or news release. So yung mga brand owner, yung mga product nila, more on na kasi tayo ngayon, social media. 'Di ba? Katulad na lang sa mga TikTok. Noon kasi, 'di ba? Minsan pumupunta pa tayo sa mga ibang lugar, or sa town, sa market para bumili ng mga skincare natin. Ngayon kasi may mga binibenta na sa through social media katulad sa TikTok, sa Facebook. Pero ang talaga, ang very known talaga ngayon na more na madami talagang umorder is sa TikTok. Kasi walang scam sa TikTok. Kaya may mga tao, may mga brand owner na pinopost na lang nila yung product nila sa TikTok, at kumukuha sila ng mga endorsers katulad ng mga vlogger, ganun, para may magbenta ng product nila sa TikTok, or may mag-live, ganun, yung sa media. More on yung na kasi ngayon, yung product ngayon, imbis na kasi parang mag-order ka kapag wala dito sa sa lugar natin, sa Bungaw, kailangan mo, or mas lalo na yung mga beauty product. Minsan kasi may mga viral ngayon na galing Vietnam or Taiwan, ganon. O imbis na pumunta ka dun sa Taiwan para bumili, mayroon na sa TikTok, kasi may mga nagbebenta ng mga pasabay, ganun, kaya hindi na tayo nahihirapan. Yun yung sa social media. Sa event naman, 'di ba, common event nga, 'di ba? So sa event naman is may mga product na gumagawa sila ng event. Parang katulad ng mga makeup, yung kay Andrea Brillantes, yung Lucky Beauty. May event siya, tapos may mga pumupunta sa event niya. Pag pumunta ka doon, may makukuha ka doon ng mga makeup brand na brand ni Andrea Brillantes. Yun yung sa event. Tapos may mga vlogger na pumupunta doon. Tapos kapag nagpunta sila doon, pag uwi nila, may binibigay sa kanila ng mga brand ng mga makeup ng Lucky Beauty. Tsaka pag uwi nila ng bahay, hindi naman like parang i-video nila agad sa TikTok, ganyan. Hindi nila i-video agad. Parang hindi naman ganun. Pero mga dadaan ng mga ilang araw ganyan. Tapos i-promote nila sa sa TikTok yung binigay sa kanila doon sa event ng Lucky Beauty, yung brand ni Andrea Brillantes. Tapos meron din possible na sa video na yon is mas maraming bumili sa product ng Lucky Beauty, which is the owner is si Andrea Brillantes yun. Kaya nakakatulong din yun sa product natin, ganyan, sa product ng mga business owner. Kaya na gumagawa sila ng mga event, ganun yung sa event. So yung sa last is public relations. 'Di ba? Dapat bumuo ka talaga ng relationship mo sa mga tao. Para naman may bumili sa product mo at para naman may kaugnayan ka sa labas, ganun. Para mas lalong manon yung product mo or yung brand mo, ganun. Yun yung sa public relation. Publicity is to increase awareness, build reputations, generate interest, and influence public opinion. So, effective publicity can help reach a wider audience, build credibility, and drive sales or engagement. Yun yung ng publicity. So, sa news release, my third topic is news release. News release is also known as a press release. It's a written statement to the media that announces something newsworthy about the company, organization, or individual. It typically includes headline, dateline, introduction, body, quotes, and contact information. Sa sa news release naman is may mga tao kasi or may mga businesswoman, businessman na yung product nila is pumapatok sa mga tao or parang effective sa mga customers, ganyan. Tapos pagkatapos nun, kapag pumapatok, may mga yung mga sa ABS-CBN ganyan, pinapalabas sila doon or sa ibang website ng mga ng mga news ganyan, so, sa TV5. Katulad na lang ni Diyos Mojica, 'di ba may siya, may kangkong chip siya na na product. So nung ilang mga few months ago or years ba yon, nung nagsikat si Diyos Mojica dahil sa kangkong chip niya. Kaya yun yung yung press release. Yung lumabas siya sa sa TV Patrol dahil sa ginawa niyang kangkong chip at marami ang bumili sa kanya nito. At ngayon big businessman na siya. Yun yung sa news release. Press conference. Press conference is an event where individuals or organizations share information with the media. Key aspect is purpose. Purpose niya is share news, announcement, or updates. Tapos sa second naman is format. Q&A sessions with journalists. Tapos sa 3 is media preference. Attracts various media outlets. So, press conference help share information widely, address questions and concerns, build relationship with media, generate publicity. Yun yung sa press conference. 'Di ba guys, may mga yung mga business woman or businesswoman, may mga kasosyo sila sa negosyo nila. So minsan gumagawa sila ng press conference, which is pinag-uusapan nila yung product, or sometimes doon nagdi-deal yung isang product sa isang product, yung pagko-combine ng dalawang product. Yun yung sa press. Tapos nag-share sila ng mga idea nila para sa bagong product nila, or nag-share sila ng concerns or mga gusto nilang baguhin sa product nila. Yun yung usapan ng mga ng mga tao na magkasosyo sa negosyo nila. Yun yung sa conference. Doon na rin nabibalong yung yung parang sharing na ng mga concern ng mga tao ganyan. Tapos doon din sinasagot nila sa sa mga ka-sosyo nila sa negosyo. Kaya may mga din, may mga product din or mga problem din na kailangan nilang palitan ganyan or kailangan nilang mag-upgrade. Doon sila nag-uusap. Kasi hindi naman sa yung mga business, yung mga big business owner ng mga product, hindi naman mag-isa lang sila na gumagawa. Meron silang kasama yung mga yung mga investment ganon. May mga investment yung mga ibang tao sa negosyo nila. Kaya dapat may press conference sila para doon makapag-usap-usap ang lahat ng mga kasosyo sa isang brand na yon. Yun yung sa press con. So, appearance. Appearance refers to the physical or visual aspect of something or someone, including looks, design, attractiveness, presentation. So, sa product kasi, 'di ba, sa mga branding, dapat yung yung branding mo is attractive. Tsaka malinis, ganon, maganda yung pagkaka-design sa kanya, attractive sa mata ng tao, at yung parang ka nabubudol ka na bumili ng product na yun kasi may mga packaging kasi na cute, ganon. Yun yung sa sa appearance, parang sa appearance ng tao, sa looks, ganon, sa looks ng product, maganda yung pagkakagawa. Kaya sometimes yung mga tao bumibili kasi maganda yung yung outline ng isang product. Yun yung sa appearance. Sa company website, a company website is an online platforms that represent a business, organizations, or entity on the internet. It typically includes information about product, services, company history and mission, contact details, new and updates, online store or inquiry form. So, 'di ba, sa mga online ganyan, may mga may mga nagbebenta doon, tapos gumagawa sila ng mga website, 'di ba? May mga may mga product na local, may mga gumagaya ganun sa product ng mga mga, for example na lang yung mga sa mga luxury luxurious na na mga perfume. May mga yun, may mga dupe siya, yung mga copy. Kaya may mga din yung mga company ng mga luxurious luxury perfume na yon, gumagawa sila ng website para pag kinilik ng ng customers ay mapupunta siya doon agad sa sa original na brand. Yun yung sa company website. Gumagawa yung mga yung mga owner ng website nila para alam kung saan order or saan yung legit na binibilhan ng isang product. So, public relations. Public relations or PR involves managing and maintaining a company's image and reputation through media relations, crisis communication, internal communication, community engagement, social media management. So, dito naman sa PR is that kailangan mapanatili mo yung ganda ng isang product mo at kailangan satisfied pa rin yung mga customers mo. Katulad na lang ng mga ng mga engagement mo sa mga internet ganyan, dapat tuloy-tuloy 'yon para hindi mag-decrease yung standard ng ng product mo ganyan, or gusto mong makuha na market price, or gusto mong maabot na sales ganon. Yun yung sa sa relations, kailangan still pa rin yung connection mo sa bawat website ng product mo. Dapat matatag ang relationship with your partner or So, marketing publicity relationship. Marketing publicity relationship or MPR combines marketing and PR strategies to promote products, service, or brands. MPR aims to build brand awareness, generate buzz, drive sales, enhance credibility. So, marketing public relationship or MPR combines marketing and PR strategies to promote products, services, or brands. MPR aims to build brand awareness, generate buzz, drive sales, enhance credibility. MPR tactics include product launches, media coverage, influencer partnership, event marketing, content creation, I mean. Dito po is yung mga tao na kumukuha sila ng mga partnership na influencer para may katulong sila sa pag-promote ng mga product nila or sa pagla-launch ng mga product nila. Tapos, yung mga iba pang mga brand owner ganyan, na gumagawa sila ng ng connection sa mga vlogger, katulad na lang ng mga sa mga TikTok ganyan. Yung sa kay Rosmar, iba-iba yung kinukuha niya na endorser ng mga vlogger sa sa product niya, or sa mga sa mga beauty product na mga binebenta sa TikTok, ganon. May mga kinukuha silang mga endorsers para ma-maintain nila yung yung ang gusto nilang yung ini-aim nila na sales every month, ganon, or weeks. Yun yung sa sa MPR, building connections to influencer, partnership to through influencer, ganon yung sa sa So that's all for my report. Wabadu, wassalamu alaikum, magsukul.
And today I will be presenting chapter 11, retailing and wholesaling. Retailing and its importance. Retailing includes all the activities involved in selling goods and services directly to the final customers for their personal use. Retailers are the last link in the distribution channel, helping producers reach customers. Retailing is important because it provides goods and service directly to the customers. It creates convenience by offering products at the right place and time. It supports millions of jobs in the economy. Examples of retailers. Physical retailer. The store. Shoppers stop, Walmart, local grocery shop. Service retailer. Service dealer, restaurant, and banks. Retailer or online retailer. Amazon and Flipkart. For, for retailing institutions. Retailing institutions include many kinds of businesses that sells product or service to customers. There can be food retailer, merchandise retailers, service retailers, food retailers, supermarket, convenience store, merchandise retailers, department store, clothing store, or electronic stores. Service retailers like banks, restaurants, and movie trailers. Retailers keeps changing over time. Old style as small shop by decline, where new formats grew. Retailers update themselves to match customers' needs and technology. For example, supermarket like Walmart, clothing stores like H&M, online retailers like Amazon's, and service retailers like McDonald's and McDonald's or Acerina. Clarifying retailers by ownerships. Retailers can be grouped based on who owns and controls them. The main types are independent retailer, less department retailer, chain store, corporate chain. Independent retailer, owned by one person or small group, not the part of the large company. For example, local grocery shop, independent bookstore. For less department retailer owns the goods but the rents space inside another store. For example, Jeraway counter inside in a big department stores, banks branch inside a small chain store, two or more stores under one central ownership and management. For example, Reliance, Trends, and Walmart stores. For corporate, for corporate, for corporate chain, a larger chain with 11 or more stores, like more central control. For example, McDonald's company-owned outlets. For ownership group, different stores with different names, but controlled by one central owner. For example, Multiply Fashions brands owned by the same parent company. Retailers by prominent strategies. Retailers are grouped by their main retailer strategy. A. In-store retailing or physical shops. B. Non-store retailing or direct market like online shopping or catalogs. For example, in-store Walmart, Target, Walmart and Target. For non-store, Amazon, DoorDash or online delivery service. Retailing retailers who sell products from physical or brick-and-mortar stores. There are different based on product variety, store size, price level, amount of self-service, and locations. Each type serves different customers' needs. Example, supermarket focus on food and household items. Department stores, wide range of apparel, home goods, and cosmetics. Convenience stores like 7-Eleven, smalls or quick shopping, higher prices. Choosing messages and bicycles. Company must create interesting stories about their product or brand to give media attention. These stories can highlight unique features, special events, new innovative activities, celebrity improvement, social or economic initiatives. If they don't have enough story, they could influence that media will want to cover. For example, in a college cast, hosting a seminar with a famous speaker to attract publicity. A company launching a company launching a clarity event for fashion show to gain media coverage. For event creations, events help organizations get attention from public and the media. Used especially in fun like, for example, book fairs, fundraising concerts, celebrity fashion show, implementing the plan. Public relations store must be carefully planned and submitted to the media that is most likely to publish them. Personal relationship with media editors help PR success. For evaluating the sort, to check if PR work companies measure exposure, how much media coverage was received, for awareness or comprehension, how many people remember or understood the message, for sales or profit impact. The PR increase if the PR increase revenue. For example, after a PR campaign promoting Buticos as healthy, people believing they are rich in vitamins increased from 36% to 67%. PR involves the creating newsworthy stories or events, sharing them through media, and measuring how well they increase awareness and sales.
Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum and good morning, especially to you sir. I am Fatima Jubay Roshetta and I am first year college student and now currently taking PSBA. So in this video, let me explain the different types of retail store. So before we proceed to our main topic, let me discuss first what is retail store. So retail store, it is a store that sells a product directly to the consumer. Like for example, dito sa Bungaw yung sa mga NTCC stores or Southpol. That is an example of retail store. So now let me discuss the different types of retail stores. So we have a specialty store, department store, convenience store, supermarket, and mass merchandise retailer. So first is specialty store. A specialty store, it is a types of retail store that sells a specific product or items. Like for example, bookstore. Naka-specific lang siya sa book. Di na siya nagbebenta ng ibang products like mga damit or watch kasi naka-focus lang siya sa books. And other example is shoe store. So, sa shoe store na yun, naka-focus lang sila sa shoes. Di na sila nagbebenta ng mga like appliances or mga cosmetics. Kasi nga, naka-focus lang sila sa specific na product which is shoes. So, next is department store. Department store, it is a large retail store that divided into different sections but in one places. For example, mga sa SM or dito sa NDCC, nagbebenta sila ng mga iba't ibang products pero naka-segregate sila sa iba't ibang rooms. Like for example, dito sa isang room na to, nandito na lahat ng mga eyeglasses. Then dito sa ibang rooms, mga appliances lang. Ganun yung department store. So next is convenience store. A convenience store, it is a types of retail store or small grocery store that sells drinks or snacks for long hours. Like for example, 7-Eleven. Nag-crave ka ng ice cream at 3 a.m., pwede kang bumili sa convenience store na yun kasi nga open siya 24/7. Next is supermarket. So a supermarket, it is a types of retail store or a large self-service store where the people buy a different kinds of product. Like for example, SM supermarket. So nandun na yung mga kailangan nila sa pang araw-araw or ibang mga products like vegetables, snacks, meats, and others. Nandun na siya sa isang place na yon which is sa isang stores na yon, nandun na lahat yung mga kailangan nila. So sila mismo yung pumipili kung ano yung gusto nilang bilhin. So next is mass merchandise retailer. A mass merchandise retailer, it is a types of retail store that's selling products in low prices and give discounts to the customers. Like for example dito sa NDCC, so sa loob ng NDCC, nagbibigay sila ng mga discounts, or for example marami kang nabibili ng mga products, mas lalo silang nagbibigay ng discounts. And other example is sa KCC. So sa KCC, nagbibigay din sila ng mga discounts, lalo na pag isa ka na sa mga members na laging bumibili doon sa stores na yon. So next is off-price retailer. Off-price retailer, it is the stores where they sell branded product or mga good qualities at lower prices. So ukay-ukay is considered an example of off-price retailer kasi nagbebenta sila ng mga products na branded sa mababang presyo. So next is direct marketing. So direct marketing, it is the way they sell a product directly to the consumer. So for example is Food Panda. Considered to siyang example ng direct marketing kasi di mo na kailangan lumabas pa ng bahay na pumunta pa sa mga restaurants. Pwede mo siyang i-order lang through cellphones. Another example is TikTok. So through click lang sa yellow basket, kusang darating na yung product na in-order mo. And that is an example of direct marketing. And that's all po. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. I'm Zulaika T. Talipan, a third-year student of BS Food Technology. So now, I'll be tackling about marketing management, or kung paano lumalago yung pagbebenta natin sa isang market, or ano yung mga strategies na ginagawa natin para maging successful yung business natin, and kung paano lumalago yung mga business natin in certain ways. So una rito, I have off-price retailers. When we say off-price retailers, they are specialty mass merchandisers that sells nationally known product name goods such as apparels and footwears at low prices. They buy this item below wholesale cost. It is because they do not demand promotional allowances, return privileges, or extended payment terms. They also offer few customer services that keeps the operational cost low. Another thing, many off-price retailers sell seconds, overruns, discontinued, or out-of-season merchandise. Yet, when a manufacturer owns such a store, it is called a factory outlet. So, when we say off-price retailers, dito na binebenta yung mga known products sa murang halaga. Usually, ito yung mga tinatawag natin mga overruns na product, yung mga pull-out na products, or yung mga class A na product. Hindi man natin mabili ito sa mahal na halaga, or yung kumbaga yung original price ng product na yon, pero nabibili naman natin siya sa murang halaga. It's because of these off-price retailers, yung mga mall pull-out na mga products. May mga minimal na defects man to, pero nagagamit pa rin naman siya. Diba? Napapansin natin, bumibili tayo ng mga overruns na mga Nikes, na shoes, or kung ano-ano pang mga mamahalin na product. Pero, tumatagal din naman yun sa atin, and same pa rin naman yung quality niya. Halos same pa rin naman yung quality niya with the original one. Let's move on to the direct marketing. So when we say direct marketing, it is a retailing without a physical store using advertising, telephone sales, yung mga catalogs, or the internet to get direct response. So they order through mail, phone, or even through online, It includes mail order sales, telemarketing, television home shopping, and print ads and catalogs. So dito sa mail order sales, ito yung mga continued brands like mga Banana Republic and Sharper Image. So, pinopromote nila ito, dinadirect marketing nila ito through emails. So, nagsisend sila ng kanilang mga order sales through emails or they are promoting through emails. Si telemarketing naman, they are selling via phone databases. Tumatawag sila through phone calls to advertise their product. Si television home shopping naman, dito napapanood natin siya through cable shopping shows where viewers call in to buy products. 'Di ba? Dati kasi, if naabutan nyo, dati, may pinapalabas yan sa television. Kumbaga, nagpo-promote sila ng kanilang mga product and may nakalagay mismo doon sa baba ng promotion nila ganyan. Kung ito yung numero na tatawagan mo, kung gusto mong mag-order, kung gusto mo ng ganitong product, ng mga ganyan, yun yung tinatawag na television home shopping. So, yung last naman is print ads and catalog. So, dito, yung targeted mail using database marketing. So, kumbaga, medyo same lang siya with mail order sales or may similarities sila with mail order sales. They target marketers or they target consumers through mail using database. So, yung advantages nitong direct marketing is that they convince the consumers and they also reduced operating cost for sellers. When we say yung mga operating cost for sellers, yung hindi na sila totally pumupunta pa doon sa physical store. Ika nga, 'di ba, yung direct marketing, they don't have physical store. They only advertise through telephone sales, through catalogs, and through internet, no? Ganon lang si direct marketing. Yet, may disadvantage din naman si direct marketing. Though nakakatipid nga tayo sa pamasahe kasi nga nandiyan na sa bahay nakikita na natin, na-advertise na through televisions, through calls, through catalogs, sa mga emails natin. Yet may mga advantages din naman siya. So, yung disadvantages ng direct marketing is that they cost for catalog printing and shipping. Nagre-risk din si consumer, no? Nagre-risk din siya kasi nga hindi pa natin kilala itong shop na to May mga trust issue pa tayo. Paano natin malalaman if legit ba tong si seller, legit ba tong shop na to, yung mga ganong instances. And then, may mga many liberal return policies pa. Kumbaga, dito marami pang nakaka-experience yung binabalik nila yung product sa mismong seller kasi nga hindi tama yung order na nabigay sa kanila or may mga defects yung orders. May mga instances pa nga na sinasabi nating scam, no? Scam kasi nga hindi nabigay sa atin or hindi na-achieve yung expectation natin sa pag-order. Kasi nga iba yung nakikita natin sa television, sa mga catalogs, then iba din yung napupunta sa atin. Kumbaga, expectation versus reality itong si direct marketing. The third one is the door-to-door selling. When we say door-to-door selling, ito, nag-i-involve dito yung personal in-home selling of items like cutlery, vacuum cleaners, magazines, and cosmetics. Madami pa, no? It's effective for products needing demonstration, but is labor-intensive and costly due to commissions. Although, nade-decline ito sa US, but it grows in developing countries. Hanggang ngayon pa rin naman, uso pa rin itong si door-to-door sellings. Diba, may napapansin tayo na may pumupunta sa bahay natin na mag-advertise ng kanilang mga products. Like ngayon, diba, Burmans. So, may mga from other lugar pa ganyan pumupunta dito sa Tawi-Tawi para i-advertise yung mga products nila, kung gaano katibay. Sa amin nga, no, may na-experience kami na pinupuntahan talaga kami dito sa bahay para magbenta ng mga Mandawi foams, yung mga ganon. So, yun yung mga tinatawag natin door-to-door selling. Meron pa nga dito, no, isang example is yung mga nagbebenta ng mga Avon products, ganyan, pumupunta sila sa mga bahay-bahayan, yung mga Tupperwares, para i-advertise yung mga product nila and para makita din ng consumer yung actual product na may debenta nila. Malaman natin kung durable ba yung product na to, kung okay ba siya, yung mga ganon. Yet nga, no, may mga labor-intensive din ito and costly din ito. Kasi isipin nyo yung mga nagbebenta nito is dumadaan pa or bumibiyahe pa ng malayo para lang marating tayo. Imagine na lang yung mga pamasahe nila, no? So, yung bayad natin sa kanila is may deduction pa kasi nga dito rin nila kinukuha yung pamasahe nila, yung mga ganon. So, yun yung si door-to-door selling. So, the fourth one is the vending machines. So, the vending machines, ito yung mga coin-operated vending machines that are long established retail method for low price and high turnover goods. Tulad na lamang ng mga candy, gum, soft drinks, 'di ba may nakikita tayong vending machines na yun yung laman, no? There is about one vending machines for every 40 people sa US. So, ganun kayaman yung US, guys. And dito sa Pilipinas, parang hindi rin gaano karami yung mga vending machines na nakikita natin even sa mga cities. They are found in schools, hotels, churches, and dormitories, eliminating the need for a store or personnel. Modern machines also vend airline tickets, travel insurance, greeting cards, and breathalyzer test due to technological advances. So, itong si vending machines, usually sa mga 5-star hotels, no, may nakikita tayong mga vending machines, and even sa mga yung offices or mga buildings sa Manila na usually may mga ganong may mga vending machines din every floors. So, hindi na rin tayo nahahassle pumunta pa sa labas para bumili ng makain or kung anong gusto natin. Kasi nga, sa vending machines na yon mura na yung halaga. And then, nandoon na Usually, nandoon na rin yung mga pagkain, drinks, kung ano-ano pa. Nandoon na sa vending machines. And, technological advances din ito. Ganon kalawak din itong si vending machines. So, the fifth one is the e-tailing on the internet. So, when we say e-tailing, ito yung electronic retailing that allows consumers to shop online from home or office via the internet. So, dito sa e-tailing, known na to sa ngayong henerasyon, no? Yung nagsha-shopping na lang tayo sa bahay, yung mga pa-TikTok natin, yung mga pa-Shopee, pa mga Lazada, yun yung tinatawag nating electronic retailing. So, dito, examples of these are the Amazon.com, Egghead, PreviewTravel.com, yung mga E-Trade, TikTok Shop, Lazada, Shopee. Yan yung mga electronic retailing natin. Yung advantages ng electronic retailing is that 24/7 siyang nakabukas and low marketing cost. No need for us to go to physical stores or clerks para bumili ng product na to. It also has personalized shopping experiences and interactivity. So, dito returning of customers are greeted by names and receive recommendations. Nakikita rin naman natin kung saan nanggagaling, di ba? Pag kinukuha natin yung mga parcels natin, nakikita natin kung saan lugar pa nanggaling itong shop na to, kung saan tayo bumili. Nandoon din lahat ng mga mga interactivity na meron sa atin and sa shop na pinagbibilhan natin. Another thing, it is ShopBots. When we say ShopBots, is a smart shopping agents. It assists users in searching, comparing, and negotiating prices through online. So, yan yung mga advantages ni e-tailing, Pero, may mga disadvantages din ito. Number one disadvantages nito or common na disadvantages nito or disadvantage nito is that customers cannot physically inspect the product before buying. So, itong si e-tailing, medyo same siya sa direct marketing, Kasi nga, through through online lang siya. Hindi natin ma-inspect ng maigi if okay na ba yung product na to, if wala bang damage, if wala bang defect. Yun lang yung mga disadvantages ng mga pagmamarket natin through internet. And common din naman yun, di ba? I think tayo lahat dito naka-experience na rin ng ganon, Yung dumadating yung product natin kasi hindi tama yung in-order or may defect or na-scam tayo. Yung mga ganong instances. So, the sixth one here is the pattern of retail development or the wheel of retailing. When we say the wheel of retailing, So this theory explains how new low-price retailers enters the market, then gradually nag-trade up na sila or nag-i-improve na yung store nila, nag-i-improve na rin yung mga services nila. When we say nag-i-improve, nag-i-increase din yung mga prices and margins over time. Eventually, they resemble traditional higher-end retailers that leave space for new low margin. So, nag-e-emerge din sila, kumbaga. Example of this, yung mga early discounts to stores that evolves into department stores like operations, only to be replaced by newer warehouse clubs and superstores. So, dito, si Wheel of Retailing, di ba may bagong product? So, pag naluma na si bagong product, nag-upgrade siya, di ba? So, may product. And then, pag naluma na to siya, nag-upgrade na naman siya. Pag nag-upgrade, tumataas yung presyo ng product na to. Tapos, ito naman si downgrade na product na to, nagiging mura na siya. And then, ito na yung ginagawang sales sa mga market, sa mga department stores. Usually, na-experience natin to through mga bear months, yung mga December sales, yung mga ganon. So, ganon si Wheel of Retailing. Kumbaga, cycle lang siya. So, the last one is the market decisions or the retailing context. Retailers and channels members make key marketing decisions about pricing, distribution, and control. May gusto tayo or pag nagkakaroon tayo or may plan tayo magkaroon ng isang business, iniisip muna natin itong mga decisions na to. Kung magkano yung price, kung paano natin dinidistribute yung mga product natin, and kung paano natin kino-control yung business natin. So, I have here that each member, yung mga manufacturer, wholesaler, retailers, they seeks to maintain profit, images, and customers' loyalty. Retailers gain control over pricing through private brands collaborations, negotiating margins, and exclusive distribution systems. Another thing, wholesalers and retailers may sell gray market goods. When we say gray market goods, ito yung mga unauthorized imports, to reduce cost and gain pricing flexibility. Lastly is cooperation in channels relies on fair profit margins, price guarantees, and special deals to stimulate resellers and consumers' demand. Dito natin malalaman paano natin na-overcome kung paano tayo mag-isip when it comes to marketing decisions. Kaya mo maging prepare physically, mentally, emotionally. Kasi nga, darating pa rin sa punto na yes, lalago yung business mo. And darating din sa point na bababa yung mga sales mo, or the saddest part nga is nababankrupt yung store mo. Crucial na maging handa tayo, or it's crucial yung marketing decisions pag nag-open tayo ng business or businesses in the future. So that's all for my report that focuses on chapter 11. I hope you learned something from my report. So if you have questions, clarifications, feel free to ask so that we can answer it. Thank you.
So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So, good morning everyone. So, especially to you, Sir Nico Chua. So, before I start, I will introduce myself. I'm Angeline S. Concepcion. So, today, I'm gonna explain my topic about services and store atmosphere. So, before we proceed to other topics, so first we will discuss what is services and what is store atmosphere. The services are the extra help or support that the stores to give the customers before they buying, while buying, and after buying. So, for example, for services, fitting room, delivery, and space parking. So, one of example of services. While the store atmosphere, it is the feel or mode of the stores that includes here the design, lighting, music, color, and layout that make the store is looking attractive to the customer. For example, bright lighting in a shopping and a clothing shop, and then a good music in a cave. So it is one of example of store at. So we proceed to other topics. So this service mix, they have three types, which is pre-purchase services, post-purchase services, and the ancillary services. So we will discuss first what is pre-purchase service. Pre-purchase services, these services that offer before you buy the product and help you to decide. For example, clothing store has a fitting room, and the staff, it will help you to choose the clothes, and then through advertisement is to know the new arrival product to them. Fitting room let you try the clothes, and it is help you to decide for what you want to buy. And then the staff, it is a guidance to pick you or to help you to pick the right size and style for the customers want. And the advertisement let you know what the product available to them. So that is the example of pre-purchase services. So we proceed to the post-purchase service. These services, after you buy the product, make the shopping experience. For example, this store is offering the gift wrapping, delivery, and return exchange. So gift wrapping to make the gift ready and without extra effort, and then delivery to bring your product to your home, and then the return or exchange, you can change or return if it does not fit or want. And then the third one is ancillary services. These are extra services that is not directly related to buying, but it is improve the shopping experience. For example, a mall has parking space and the parking space, it is a convenient for customers for who drive, and then the restaurants, the customer can eat while shopping. So that's the three types of services. The next topic is price decisions. So price decisions is on how the store they set the right prices for the product. For example, luxury perfumes, the store set the high prices. The price is high it because their target customer is one premium perfume or high-end product. And then the next topic is promotion decision. So the promotion decisions on how the store attract the customers through advertisement or advertise, and promotion. Example for promotion decision. So the customer offer buy one take one. So they do this to make people buy more and to visit to their. So next one is place decision. So place decisions, you need to choose the best location for your store. For example, may nagtitinda ng milk tea na malapit sa school. So, tendency maraming estudyante na dumadaan doon. So, tendency maraming bibili sa mga produkto mo kasi nga malapit lang siya sa school at maraming estudyante. So, it is one of example of place decision. So, we proceed tayo sa wholesaling. So, wholesaling is a buying product in bulk and selling them to the store, not directly to the consumer. So, wholesaler or wholesaling po, bumibili sila ng mga produkto, ng maraming produkto, tapos ibibenta nila sa store or sari-sari store, not directly to consumers. Hindi sila dumiretso nagbebenta ng mga produkto nila sa consumer. It is directly to the store. So, yun po yung wholesaling. Proceed tayo sa classifying wholesalers or wholesaling. So, classifying wholesalers, it can be merchant or merchants, wholesaler, and agent. So, the merchants, wholesalers, they own the goods, while po yung the agent wholesalers, they do not have own their own goods. So, like for example, merchant buy rice and sell it, and then the agent wholesalers help help to sell the rice, and but that's not their own. So sa madaling salita, yung merchant po, sila po yung may-ari ng produkto, while po yung the agents ay nag-ano lang sila, hindi nila pag-aari, kumbaga nagsisibi lang sila in the middleman. Yan po yung classifying wholesaler. So proceed tayo sa merchant wholesalers. Katulad ng sinabi ko, they own the product, store them, and sell it. So for example, a wholesaler, they buy the sacks of flour and keep them in a warehouse. So it because they take full controls, their own ownership, storage, and selling. Kung baga sila yung may-ari ng produkto. We proceed tayo another topic to full service merchant wholesaler. Full service merchant wholesalers, they offer full support, delivery credit, marketing advice, storage, etc. So, for examples, they deliver good to small store and allow payment on a later date. So, kumbaga na dinideliver nila yon sa small store, and then pwede silang magbayad. Yung small stores, pwede silang magbayad in the next months po. So, yan po yung example of full services merchants wholesale. So, we proceed tayo sa another topic, the last topic, and then which is the limited service merchants wholesale. So, the limited service merchants wholesalers, they provide fewer services but offer cheaper prices. So, these services na ito lang yung kaunting serbisyo pero mura yung presyo ng mga bilhin nila or produkto nila. So nga lang, wala silang credit, wala silang delivery, sadyang ikaw lang yung kukuha ng products doon sa kanila. So that's all my topic. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. I am Alshani J. Hai and one of the group reporters, Group 5. I'm going to present my topic in a video presentation. My first topic is cash and carry wholesaler. Cash and carry wholesaler is a limited service where they eliminate the delivery and credit payment. But what they require the buyer is to visit the warehouse or other distribution process, that is cash and carry wholesaler. Hermes, an example of that. Hermes is they don't do delivery, but what they require you to do is to visit their warehouse and to buy their product. My next topic is truck wholesaler, also what we call truck jobbers. This wholesaler is also a limited service wholesaler that sells limited items that often perishable. That is truck wholesaler. And this type of wholesaler provides a fast delivery to their customer. And my next topic is direct marketing wholesaler. It's also a limited service wholesaler that use catalogs, mails, telephone, or online platforms to reach their buyers. This type of wholesaler deliver their product to mail or parcel delivery. The fourth topic is dropshippers. These types of wholesaler also transfers order from buyers directly to the producer, then ship for them to the customer. And the fifth topic is truck jobber, which is also a limited service wholesaler where they contract the retailer to display their item or their product to the store, and that is jobbers. And the next one is agents. Agents are wholesalers that do not take title to goods, but become the intermediaries, but acts as an intermediaries to bring the buyer and the seller together. And these are the two types of agent. The first one is brokers. The brokers is an agent intermediaries that brings the customers together in touch, and the one who assists the customers. Second types agent, or my last topic, is commission merchants. Commission merchants is an agent intermediaries who are also similar to broker, but as an additional decision making, where they the one who adjust the price of a product, and that is commission merchants. And that's all my topic for today. Good day, everyone.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I would like to introduce myself. I am Ranika MTCU. My topic is the action companies, manufacture engines and selling, major factor, and manufacturers selling is wholesaling, marketing vision, target market, product action and selling, promotion decision. So this is action companies. Action companies is the R. Intelligence is the force of value selling in the value. So this is the action companies. Those are companies that selling good to the high sense in varying in of selling fine price. So number 2 is manufacture engines and selling. Manufacture their help manufacture means more marketing, which selling up their hours say defendants. And in major factor, this is a major factor, like example, green, tas yung S, gas. Some manufacture skills, maintenance and definition hard is working devolution to rates. Number 4, is manufacture that do their hours wholesaling. So this is the their make product available to riches in the rich quality equal in time. So number 5 is the Holy Marketing Division. So choice which is following marketing about that product to sell, how to price them, how to promote them, and which this vision. So Number 6. Number 6 is target market. Target market is it help business define that marketing effort and affinity. So number 7. Number 7 is product assessment and service. So this is it help the reach of product and service evolves ethical related. So number 8, promotion decision. So promotion decision, this is how was available or exclude selling sales as discounts, fair, some or us. So that's all. Thank you.